Christmas. Well, hello, guys, and welcome to our time together today. I just finished my supper, had some good old homemade soup. Now, right here in South Georgia, we're more meat and potatoes guys, but every now and then, we'll dive into some soup. Not that it's really soup weather in South Georgia. Wherever you are, it may be cold. You may be having some, winter like weather. But in South Georgia, I think we reached 80 something degrees today. So, who knew? But I think on Monday, after Georgia takes out Michigan in the Orange Bowl, we're going to be like 45 or something like that, maybe. But just for a day. See, in South Georgia, we have winter for like 2 days or maybe a day. And then boom, we'll, go into summertime or whatever. But I finished my soup. I know it's not a manly meal, but I told my wife we're going to get into some steak and taters tomorrow. But after I finished my soup, I said, here we are. Now we're almost on the eve of the Orange Bowl game. Georgia fans have been anticipating this game for seems like forever. Here we are, almost for the Orange Bowl and the semifinals of the college football playoffs. And there might be some folks who want to give us their prediction, ask a question, vent a little bit. This is a family program, so keep it clean, okay? But we're going to talk a little bit about Georgia and Michigan and give you what we know as the latest news and just for a few minutes here. And if you would like to jump in, if you'd like to say something, you can do in the comment section there. We'll see it and we'll post it up, and you can. What I really would love is for your prediction. Now, the Georgia is a 7.5 point favorite in this Orange Bowl game, and but I've been kind of perusing around and looking at the experts, uh, you know, and what they are saying about the game and their prognostications, and it kind of varies a little bit. You have some that have Georgia winning, by a big margin, like 34-10, things like that. Then you have others and these are Bulldog fans. You have others with Georgia winning by maybe a touchdown or 2 points, and then of course from up north. And I have visited some of the Michigan sites. You have the Michigan Wolverines saying, "Hey, it's our year. We beat Ohio State. That proves we are who we are, and we're going to take out Georgia." So you know. Um, so anyway, what is your prognostication? What do you think? Who do you think is going to win this game between Georgia and Michigan, and how much? And I've been all over the map with this thing. My latest prediction is 34-17 Georgia winning. 34-17 Georgia winning. And I have to remember that because I change minute by minute. By the way, I'm an awful prognosticator. I mean, if you say, before I go out on a limb and do something, I need to check with Chris Hall of today's sports report on, UGA Football News on Facebook and Instagram to see what he is saying about the game and who's going to win. Don't do that unless you want to see, what might happen opposite from what I say. But anyway, I got Georgia winning 34-17. And before the program is over tonight, that may change. So, in your comment section, you can show us your prognostication. You can ask a question. We'll try to do the best we can to get you on here. Let's say dogs are too strong. It will be a solid win. Points won't be huge, but dogs will win comfortably. Corey Kettner. I agree with you, Corey. I agree with you. So here's the latest news. Now, the star of the show so far in the Orange Bowl has been the COVID, 19, the pandemic that never goes away. JT Daniels, of course, had COVID. Apparently, he's out of the protocols, and JT will, he'll be on the sidelines. George Pickens also had COVID. He's in Miami. He is projected to play. And our good friend Jerry Sanders. We love Jerry. Dogs will be okay. I'm with you, Jerry. Jerry's the man. There you go. And I got somebody saying uncle. Oh, hi, Amanda. How you doing? Can't wait to see the dogs play. There you go. See, I'm an uncle to Amanda. Anyway, so the COVID has been the thing, and it's been very tight-lipped. I know there's been some dogs, some of the coaches, some of the players having news conferences almost every day down in Miami. They're kind of keeping that COVID thing under the wraps, but I think Georgia's going to be okay. They'll be at full strength. Um, Sailor is going to be back in there. The one of our offensive linemen that's been kind of sidelined, but I think Georgia will be pretty much at full strength. So the game here's the details. The game will be Friday, December 31st at 7:30 p.m. on ESPN. There you go. Fowler and Herbstreit are going to be the announcers for the game. And so the Georgia Michigan game has kind of like the A team of the ESPN announcers. So Fowler and Herbstreit will be in the booth, which is okay. We'll take them. We'll take them instead of that CBS crew. Well, one person out of the CBS crew. But Fowler and Herbstreit, they'll be doing their thing, announcing the game on Friday. Michigan is number 2 in the nation in the latest polls, which is okay. Georgia number 3. Now, I'm not going to get bogged down in statistics and that kind of thing about who threw for what and who ran for what. But let me give you some folks to watch. Georgia people are not necessarily used to or familiar with Michigan. We know they're a good football team, Big Ten. Lost one game, lost it to Michigan State, a very physical team. Mel Tucker, the coach of Michigan State, of course, formerly of the University of Georgia. And so Michigan lost to a very physical team, a very physical defensive team, which gives you a little glimmer of hope for the University of Georgia. But here's some names. I'm not going to give you all these statistics because you can get all bogged down in that stuff. Coach Jim Harbaugh, of course, kind of a quirky guy. Jim Harbaugh comes across sometimes as like what, you know, in some of his news conferences, and he comes across a little quirky. But basically, from going beyond the scenes, looking behind the scenes at Jim Harbaugh, the person. He seems to be a good, top quality guy and a pretty good football coach. You got to give it to him. A pretty good football coach. The big monkey on his back was Ohio State. Michigan had lost, like, I don't know, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 in a row to Michigan State, and they were able to win over Michigan State. Much like Georgia losing 7 in a row, to Alabama. So there you go. But Michigan beat Ohio State, got that monkey off their back. And Jim Harbaugh, when the season began, was kind of like he was in the hot seat, but that win helped to get him off of that. Trip Block, by the way, says Georgia's going to win 28-7. That's a pretty good score. 28-7. There you go. Trip, a big LSU fan. Well, you go Tigers. I think they play in a thing. They play in a bowl game. LSU, let me see. LSU will play in the Texas Bowl. Who knew there was a Texas Bowl? That'll be January 4th. They'll be playing Kansas State if they can negotiate the COVID business. So let's see what we got here, Corey. Michigan's a strong team. Yeah. I agree with you, Corey. Absolutely. Good analysis from Corey about the game coming up. So you got Coach Jim Harbaugh. He's on the sidelines. Kind of a quirky guy, but a good guy. Quarterback is Cade McNamara. Now, he's a very efficient quarterback. He's not a flashy guy, not by any means at all. But Cade McNamara is a very efficient quarterback for the type of offense that Michigan has. I've been studying film, and kind of studying up on the game. Michigan has a very offense that tries to control the game. They're a very controlled offense. They're not a good team to come from behind. They try to grind it out against you. They have a big offensive line, the big, to use an affectionate term, the big uglies on the offensive line really try to open up running room for Haskins. Hassan Haskins, a tremendous running back, had over 2,400 yards rushing this season. Blake Corum just shy of 1,000 yards rushing for Michigan. They have two running backs, very talented running backs. But what Michigan tries to do offensively is just they try to grind it out, use a lot of the clock, grind it down the field. Now, against Georgia's defense, if Georgia's defense is playing like Georgia's defense is supposed to play, then that may be a tough assignment for them to have a controlled offense like that and score. So anyway, so you got Coach Jim Harbaugh, quarterback Cade McNamara. These are the folks to focus in on. Running backs, Hassan Haskins, tremendous running back, just tremendous. Blake Corum. And on the defensive side, you have Aiden Hutchinson, kind of a cool dude. Yep, I get you. You got to give props where props are due. And Aiden Hutchinson is kind of a cool dude. He's a linebacker. He was a Heisman finalist. It would have been cool if he had won the Heisman and a defensive player then, would finally have won the Heisman. I don't know how long it's been since that has happened. But that didn't happen, of course. Michigan's defense ranks second in the nation in fewest points allowed per game. They have allowed an average of only 16 points a game. They're in the top 10 in the fewest yards allowed per game, 315, just a little over 315 yards a game. Now, Georgia's defense is better statistically than that, but still, Michigan's defense, that's in the top 5. So there you go. So you got Michigan, Jim Harbaugh on the sidelines, a controlled offense, and a defense that, is going to try to control things. So you got basically, and we were very fortunate to have Aaron Murray with us. Great quarterback for the University of Georgia. By the way, if you ever run into a trivia question that says, who is Georgia's leading passer as far as passing yards, career passing yards and touchdowns? Who holds, the record at the University of Georgia for most yards passing in a career and touchdowns? The answer is Aaron Murray. But wait, kind of like those commercials, when they play them on TV. But wait, if you call in the next 5 minutes, we'll give you something else. But wait, not only is Aaron Murray Georgia's leading career passer as far as statistics are concerned, he's also the SEC's leading, career leader in yards passing and touchdowns. So Aaron Murray, we had him on our program a while back. Cool dude. But I forgot where I was going with that. What? Okay, my producer says hurry. For Georgia, let's see, the focus is going to be on Coach Kirby Smart. The pullback guy, bless his heart, he's going to be there trying to pull him back. Now, here's the thing: blowing up social media, blowing up everything. Just people are going gaga over this. Who's going to be the quarterback? Here we are in the first round of the college football playoffs. And Georgia, outside of the staff and the team, there's a quarterback controversy. Now, I can promise you this: inside the staff of the University of Georgia and inside the team members of the University of Georgia, there is no quarterback controversy. They know who their quarterback is, and that's Stetson Bennett. But beyond that, in social media, newspapers, talk radio, programs like this, we're saying, okay, who should be our quarterback? Should it be Stetson Bennett or JT Daniels? JT Daniels recovering from COVID seems to be pretty good. Seems to be better. Seems to be over that. By the way, if you have a comment, send it in. Also, we'd love to have your prediction for the game. 34-17 is mine. Georgia winning. So who's going to win? Who's going to be our quarterback? Stetson Bennett, the staff, Todd Monken, Kirby Smart have made it very clear that they believe the best opportunity for Georgia to win is with Stetson Bennett starting at quarterback, JT Daniels on the sidelines. If Stetson struggles, though, Kirby said today, I was reading some of the things he said today. He said he would not hesitate to put JT Daniels in the game as a quarterback if the situation called for it. So there you go. So, you focus on Coach Kirby Smart, quarterback Stetson Bennett, tight end Brock Bowers. The Michigan defensive coordinator says, I don't know how we're going to defend this guy, Brock Bowers. He says he's almost an indefensible player. Pretty high praise coming from the Michigan defensive coordinator. Running backs, of course, we're going to focus on Zamir White. There you go. Let's see what we got. Brianne says Georgia 35. Hey, she agrees with me. That's a smart girl. Smart young lady. We will see both quarterbacks. Adam Zipper says we'll see both quarterbacks in the game Friday. Yeah, it could very well be. Could very well be. But Stetson Bennett will be starting apparently. Let's see. Corey Kettner, Kirby Smart. You're either elite or you're not. Dogs 35. Wolverines 24. Okay, so Corey got him a tad closer. Let's see. We for Georgia is focusing on Zamir White, James Cook, Kenny McIntosh. Georgia has a pretty elite running back stable as well to match up with Michigan's. Defensively, Jordan Davis, the Bednarik and Outland Award winner, Butkus Award winner Nakobe Dean, Trayvon Walker, Quay Walker and company. Georgia defense leads the nation in fewest points allowed per game, just a little over 9. Second in total defense, allowing 265 yards per game. Dan Lanning, of course, is the defensive coordinator for the University of Georgia. He has a second job, and his second job is being the head coach for the University of Oregon. So here's what I'm thinking. Dan works, and Dan, Dan Lanning's a super guy. Adam says it's going to be 27-13. I assume he means Georgia winning. Dan Lanning's a great guy. I'm glad he's got the chance to be a head coach. I really am. I hope he does well at Oregon. I know he's working hard for Georgia. He wants to finish. He wants to finish well with Georgia. So here's what I'm thinking. Dan Lanning probably never sleeps. he probably never sleeps. He probably works for University of Georgia, 20 hours a day, and he spends 4 hours a day working as the head coach for Oregon. But he's a good guy, and we wish him well, and we think everything will go well for him. Let's see what we got. We got somebody else. Michigan will be out physicaled. Hey, I like that. Is that a word? Out physicaled? And Dogs will pull away in the second half. Dogs 37-17. Steve Highland says that. Herb Street, his his favorite word is physicality. I think we probably will hear from Kirk Herbstreit, ESPN, which, by the way, I like. I like Kirk. He's a Big Ten guy, but I still like him. He seems to be a good guy. He loves that word physicality. We might hear it 50 times Friday night. Georgia's defense, again, leads the nation, fewest points allowed per game, a little over 9. Second in total defense, allowing 265 yards per game. So Georgia is the current line is Georgia by 7. So there you go. Now, of course, Georgia and Michigan, that's an important game. It's Friday night, 7:30. Steve Highland. Hey, Steve, what's going on? From Northern California. Is that right? Go Dogs. Yes, sir. Steve Highland. Hi, Steve. Let's see. What time is it in California? It's whatever. It's 7:35 here. So what is it? 4:35 there or something? Steve's just sitting down to some steak and taters. Well, maybe not that, but anyway. Okay. The other game on Friday, the other semifinal on ESPN, Friday at 3:30, is the Cotton Bowl out in Dallas, Texas. So Georgia, Michigan, and Miami, Alabama, and Cincinnati will be in Dallas, Texas. That'll be a 3:30 game. Alabama, number 1 in the nation. We know that. In the playoffs for the 7th time. Cincinnati, number 4, the first group of 5 participant. Now you say, what in the world is a group of 5? Well, there's that's kind of like, not like the major colleges, but they're still a major college, but they're kind of under the conferences are kind of under the big ones. I didn't explain that well, but you get the idea. The first group of 5 participants since the playoff era began 2014. So Cincinnati. Oh, Randy Payne from Tifton, Georgia. We're not too far. We're not too far from Tifton. There you go. Steve Highland, Bama 48, Bear Kittens 13, not close. Okay. Yeah, we want your prediction for Alabama and Cincinnati as well. Adam Zipper, Cincy. Oh, Adam. There you go, dude. Hey, if you're going to go bold, go bold. Adam's got Cincy beating Alabama. See, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Alabama had the game of the season, its game of the season against Georgia in the SEC championship. There's no doubt about that. They didn't play anything like that for a complete game against any other opponent the entire year. Okay. If that Alabama team shows up that plays against Georgia and plays with that efficiency, then, obviously Cincinnati is not going to win this game. But if the Alabama team that played Texas A&M, LSU, Auburn, if that Tennessee gave them a good game. If that Alabama team shows up, it might be a ball game. But Adam Zipper says, I got you, man. Cincy 30, Alabama 27. So what is your prediction for this game? Let's see what Randy says here. Randy says Bama 35, Cincinnati 21. Let's see. Now for Alabama, of course, Nick Saban. You got to give it. Nick is the man. When it comes to games like this, Nick Saban is the man. He lives for these kind of games. He lives for for playoffs and for championships, and he motivates his staff and his team. So Nick Saban, watch him. That's who you focus on. Adam says Cincinnati DBs. That's true. Now Cincinnati has a very good defensive backfield. They have 2 cornerbacks. They're probably, if you stuck them on the roster for the University of Georgia, Ahmad Gardner is one of them. The other guy, I forget his name. It could very well be they would be starting for the University of Georgia. So, a quarterback, Bryce Young, of course, Heisman Trophy winner, had just Georgia. By the way, let me give a plug for something. I don't know if you guys ever look at this, but look this up on Facebook. SEC Shorts. It's a group out of Birmingham, Alabama, I believe. That do little movies, like 2, 3, 4, 5-minute programs. Fun stuff about SEC teams. Their latest one is the University of Georgia and Hope. Hope being a girlfriend. And they're having issues. Georgia and Hope. SEC Shorts. They are hilarious. And we're going to try to get those guys. We're going to try to get those guys on our program. But look that up. Bryce Young. Anyway, Georgia gave him the Heisman Trophy. Congratulations, Bryce. Running back Brian Robinson. Jamison Williams. Yep. He pretty well did us in for Georgia. Mitchie is out. Edge rusher on defense, Will Anderson. Okay. Steve is absolutely convinced that Cincinnati is going to take out Alabama. I got you. I'm with you. By the way, Will Anderson had a quote today. he's edge rusher for the University of Alabama. Had a great game against Georgia. It's kind of funny. He said, we feel like we're the underdog. Alabama is the underdog. Alabama is a 14.5 point favorite or 13.5 point favorite. But Will Anderson said, well, we feel like we're an underdog in this game, and we've been disrespected all year, and yada, yada, yada. Oh, been having hope since 1980. Isn't that true? That's true. That's true. So let's see. For Cincinnati, Coach Luke Fickell. Good guy, good coach. Here's what Cincinnati does. The early signing period, early recruiting signing period just passed. Cincinnati right now, for the early signing period at this moment, has a recruiting class for 2022 that's not even and not it's outside of the top 30. But here's what Luke Fickell does and Cincinnati does. They get their guys, the guys they want, the guys they can get, and then they immediately go to work with them. And the transformation of those guys from freshman to senior year, and most of them stay until their senior year, is phenomenal physically and in their ability. Luke Fickell develops players. He and his staff develop players. Luke Fickell's a very good football coach. I kind of thought he was going to Notre Dame, but didn't happen. Quarterback Desmond Ritter is a very good quarterback. He's going to be a high draft choice in the NFL. Running back Jerome Ford, he's very good. Wide receiver Alec Pierce is a good wide receiver. So defensively, cornerback Ahmad Gardner. Cincinnati's very good in stopping the run, forcing turnovers. They had a great year in forcing turnovers. Now, Cincinnati did beat Notre Dame. Yeah, they did. And so that was 24-13 earlier in the season. So the current line is Alabama 13.5 points. The question is, does Cincinnati have a chance? And yes, they do. They do have a chance. Now, here's what I'm thinking. And what I'm thinking is this: if Cincinnati can keep it close, manageable, and for 3 quarters, if Cincinnati can keep it close, they got a shot. But if Alabama has one of those games and they go from here to yonder, it'll be a long night for Cincinnati. Put that Notre Dame win in context. Well, it was earlier in the year, and I think Notre Dame did have some guys out. And so, but at least they did. They did win the game. Let's see. What we got here? Hope. Yeah, I do too. Go Stetson. I do too, my man. Let's see. All right. There's some other games. This is I printed out all the bowl games. It took 5-6 pages, one-sided, to print, and some of them have been canceled. You know that. For instance, the bowl game season started in let's see, December 17th when Middle Tennessee beat Toledo, 31-24. Riveting game. That was in the Bahamas Bowl. Now, if you're going to play a college bowl game, let's go to the Bahamas, which I assume that's where it was played. It's the Bahamas Bowl. Let's see. And we've had all kinds of games. Memphis and Hawaii. The Hawaii Bowl was canceled. Oh, well. But Memphis was out there. The Tigers were on site when the game was canceled because of COVID. So at least they were in Hawaii. I mean, they actually did cancel it, or did make it to Hawaii. The Fenway Bowl. There are a lot of games. I'm not going to go over all of them and the scores, but the Fenway Bowl has been canceled. That was scheduled. Was that scheduled today? It was. Maryland and Virginia Tech, they play today. I don't know who won. Clemson and Iowa State, I think, are playing now or have been playing now or something. Oh, yeah, that's right. Thanks, Steve. Notre Dame was down to their third-string quarterback. There you go. That's right. I remember that now. They did have some issues. Very good. Thank you. I can't remember all this stuff, but thank you, Steve. Interesting games coming up. The Alamo Bowl is tonight at 9:15. That's interesting. Oh, Maryland won. Did they win? Okay. Maryland beat Virginia Tech. And Clemson, I guess Clemson's playing now against Iowa State. Clemson can have a 10-win season if they win that game. Let's see. Oregon Ducks, Oklahoma tonight at 9:15 in the Alamo Bowl. Tomorrow, December 30th, North Carolina and South Carolina in the Duke's Mayo Bowl. That's at 11:30. They start at 11:30 in the morning tomorrow. Music City Bowl, you have Tennessee and Purdue. That should be a fun game. Clemson was, let's see, somebody's giving me an update. 3-3 when I stopped watching. There you go. Now the Peach Bowl is tomorrow up in Atlanta, and you have Pittsburgh and Michigan. Which, Pittsburgh's quarterback, what's his name? What's the dude's name? But yeah, I can't remember it either. But he was really good. He opted out, didn't want to play, getting ready for the pros. Michigan State 10-2. So you got Pittsburgh, Michigan State. Michigan State had one of their top line players opt out, as they call it. Oh, it's Clemson. Okay, thank you. Clemson 6, Iowa State 3. Really? Okay. Las Vegas Bowl tomorrow, 10:30 p.m. Wisconsin and Arizona State. Then on Friday, at 11 a.m., you have Wake Forest and Rutgers in the Gator Bowl. You have the Sun Bowl. And they had one of the teams that were going to play in the Sun Bowl said, no, we can't play. We don't have enough players. They were replaced by Central Michigan. So you have the Chippewas and the Washington State Cougars. And I think that's at 12 noon. I think that's the only bowl game on CBS. I think. Then you have the Arizona Bowl. That's been canceled. Central Michigan and Boise State. That's been canceled for tomorrow. Cotton Bowl. There you go. Cincinnati and Alabama. Then you have Georgia and Michigan. Oh, I can't wait. Then on Saturday, January the 1st, after the college football playoff games and those other bowls are completed, you have Penn State and Arkansas in the Outback Bowl at 12 noon on Saturday. That should be a fun game. Big Ten against SEC. Penn State 7-5, Arkansas 8-4. Go Razorbacks. Fiesta Bowl, not a bad game. Oklahoma State and Notre Dame. Yeah, Aaron Murray. Yeah, that's right. Aaron Murray, which is a CBS analyst, was complaining about that. He said, we only have one game. And Donaldson and Nessler get that game to do it from the booth. Fiesta Bowl, Oklahoma and Notre Dame. Should be Oklahoma State and Notre Dame. That should be an interesting game. Citrus Bowl, you got Iowa and Kentucky. Go Kentucky. Kentucky wins. They'll have a 10-win season. Go SEC. Rose Bowl, Ohio State and Utah. Ohio State 10-2, Utah 10-3. That'll be a good game. The Sugar Bowl in Nolens. Baylor against Ole Miss. Baylor 11-2, Ole Miss 10-2. That game may be 94-80. There's not a whole lot of defense that will be on the field for Baylor and Ole Miss. That'll be a fun game, interesting game. And then you have the Texas Bowl on Tuesday, January 4th. LSU and Kansas State. So there you go. So we just wanted to hop in here, give you the opportunity, and then we probably will do this again tomorrow just because we're on the eve of it's the game. We've been sitting around here waiting. It's the game. And Georgia, Michigan. So we're ready to roll. We're ready to see what'll happen. Thank you guys for joining us. I hope you had a great Christmas, a Merry Christmas. The Hall household had a great Christmas. Visited with my daughter, and we had a great Christmas. I don't think Corral opted out. I don't think he did. I think he stuck with it, which is a good thing. I don't like that opt-out stuff. I understand it, but I don't like it. But the Hall household, we had a wonderful Christmas. I hope you have a wonderful New Year. Now down south, we're going to get our hog jowls and our black-eyed peas and our collard greens. It's supposed to be like for tradition, good luck, and all that kind of stuff. Which I think very few people in the South do that anymore. But it is what it is. Well, thank you guys for joining us. God bless you. Go Dogs. Join us again next time. By the way, for all of this season, we have been sponsored our program by Southeast Mortgage. Now, I know, you always, a lot of people are in the market for a new home. And that can be a stressful thing. Been there, done that. It's an awful stressful thing to, try to buy a new home. You got to get this and you got to get that. And you got to go through all of this and you got to submit these papers and you worry about whether you're going to get approved or not and all of that kind of stuff. And so, hey, Moose, how you doing? And Miss Kathy Sue, I think, is in there. Yeah. Oh, she sent me a football. Well, thank you. And who we got here? Oh yeah, Steve Allen. Go Dogs. Um, but anyway, if when you're buying a home, remember this: Southeast Mortgage. I've met these people. They are tremendous people. They are wonderful people. And Steve says it's easier to buy a house than a car, a home than a car. That may be true. Can't get the chips anymore for the cars. But Southeast Mortgage, these are wonderful people. And really, you are they take it a case at the time, a person at the time, a need at the time, and they give you your undivided attention or their undivided attention. And they really focus in on you and they'll make this thing as stress free as possible. They'll be with you all the way. They'll help you all the way. Southeast Mortgage, these are great folks and they care about, they have wonderful resources and they will bend over backwards to help you. So here's what you do go to southeastmortgage.com/UGA. Uh, okay. So that's probably my good friend Tim talking about roll tide. Well, here's what I want Alabama to beat Cincinnati so Georgia can take them out again or take them out in the national championship game. Yeah, I hope so. All right. Thank you, guys. God bless you. We'll see you on our next program. Probably hang around a little bit tomorrow night and talk some more Georgia football on the eve of the games. And until then, may God bless you is our prayer.